Okay guys, welcome. We're going to talk today about why the stock market is killing your kids. Why the stock market has been killing your kids for a long time. And how this relates to genetics. What's going on here is, boy, I miss Jon Stewart in the 90s. I felt like I was clueless, like other people knew more than I did. I got a huge education, and yet, you're watching all these stories on all these channels going, how would I even, put this picture together? How would I even, make a hypothesis of how to get along in this new crazy world? And Jon Stewart would take all of these things and say, hey, the Koch brothers are having Bush do this in order to do this, in order to do this. God, it was so nice. And now he's turned into like a Lewis Black. Just if you watch Fox News, or if you watch Colbert or the Jimmys or something like that, regurgitate whatever today's little highlights were that are dictated by Trump. Then watch Jon Stewart. Instead of getting this cutting edge, you're just getting this Lewis Black. Yeah, you know what grinds my gears on a Tuesday? Trump is gay. He's gay. He sucks dicks. Boy, it's a real letdown for the populace. That was a really reliable. Trump is just dictating what those clips are now. He's doing something over here, or more than likely the Koch brothers or whomever has their fist up his asshole and is operating this hand puppet, is doing stuff over here, and then they're saying, hey, today is the day that you talk about your new plane or something like that, so that the news hones in. Trump is gay, Trump sucks dick. He's bad. He's just getting to dictate, even on what used to be our little workarounds. It's very difficult. Trump initially purchased millions of barrels of oil, billions of dollars worth of stuff, and then started a war that would double the price of that. And our guys aren't saying, hey, it's just that. It's just that. We used to have that, and that was pretty fucking cool. Then somebody would get indicted, and now we don't have any of that, and that super sucks. But we have to acknowledge that there is a consent. I can tell you exactly what's going on with your health care, with your chicken nuggets, with everything, and I'm about to. But there's a consent. We're saying, hey, we're watching the thing that says, all right, I want to grind my gears about Trump on Tuesday, which is whatever the fuck he wants you to pay attention to. He's going to jump on the Twitter feed and put 54 posts on there. Of course, he's not posting stuff on the fucking toilet. He has a team. It seems random, but this is orchestrated to get you to look over there. That magician isn't accidentally doing something over there as he's doing this complicated trick over here. It's very much orchestrated, and I miss that. Those guys have just sold out. They're not doing that anymore. Huh? Excuse me. You just got a bunch of Lewis Blacks now. Gilbert Godfrey. just as loudly, making as much noise as possible, without content. Just sarcasm is not, that's not helpful. We're trying to make a plan on how to fucking survive. But we have to concede that there is concede that there is consent. You know, nobody's going, hey dude, this won't do. Fuck you. I'm not paying the taxes. I'm not going to this place. I'm not going to keep going as long as when we have bad math, we consent to Hitler. We consent to these horrible situations. So I don't want to be the person that just informs you. You watch John Oliver and you go, wow, UFOs are bad. I didn't know how bad they were. I didn't know how widespread this was. I'm going to throw out some cans today. But, you know, it's knowledge, but it's not applicable. You're not, you know, write your senator. What can we do about this? Write your senator. Yes, that's gonna change it right there. That's a little bit childish, a little bit dumb, but I miss that big picture. What's happening in your healthcare though is the carbonization. There's no need for that. The richest man on the entire planet just put his stuff into the stock market for no apparent reason. He's going to gain a lot of money, but to the richest man on earth, what are you gaining? You see people all the time that are in their 80s, and they're already billionaires, and they're building this huge building, and you're going, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you sitting down somewhere? You could run a business and have a fucking pina colada. What's driving you to go, I gotta make another $1 billion? Being purposeful is great, but when we separate ourselves from these energies, your body is saying, hey, literally work yourself to death. I'm not saying I want to just sit on a fucking beach and get drunk consistently. That sounds like death. I'm an evolving fucking human being. I'm gonna make money today. I'm gonna insert myself today. I'm gonna meet some new, amazing new people today. I'm not dead. I'm not ready to consign to just drinking myself to death on a beach. However, working myself to death, if I already had $1 billion in the bank, you already did that. You already did that. Step 2, step 30, whatever. Next step, I made $1 billion. Now I'm gonna make $2 billion at 80 fucking years old. Sit the fuck down, dude. Say hi to your grandkids or some shit, right? This drive to our death is so fucking strong. That right hemisphere is convincing us. Today, it's so fucking important, man. This is the emergency. And of course, it's just going to end in your death. However, this space in between your products and you, the quality in the product, the second we take healthcare and say, okay, let's have a CEO that's going to make the shareholders $1 trillion this year. If he does that, he gets $1 billion this year. Now, of course, initially you were going to buy an MRI and a technician that could operate the machine and read the results. The highest quality machine, the highest quality technician, the highest quality interpretation of the information we gain. Right? Now, we need to make one. It was expensive. It was expensive, but you were purchasing quality. It was $2,500. I got hit in the head one time. I got hit doing some cycling, some exercise. I'm on the road bike. There's some kids smoking weed. T-bones me. Oh, God. Rugged. Afterwards, I had some weird uh, some weird side effects. Narcolepsy and some weird shit where you need some serious head examination. And so in 2014, I went and paid $2,500 for just cash for MRIs. And that was a lot of money, but it was impressive. It was high quality machinery, high quality tech, high quality interpretation. You've got one guy that operates it. Then you got the fancy guy with the degree that well practiced at saying, hey man, if you look at it from this angle, this is what I'm used to seeing. I've been doing this 20 years and I'm super good at interpreting this information. It was quality. It was $2,500, but it was quality. Now, we put this in an exchange, and suddenly we need, between you and the product, we need $1 trillion. We're not increasing the quality. We're not increasing the quality that you're going to receive. We're typically increasing the price and decreasing, famously decreasing the amount that the people are going to make, the machinery. We're going to get a cheaper piece of equipment. We're going to get a cheaper technician. We're going to get a cheaper doctor, an cheaper interpreter. We're going to do a lot more advertising. We're going to run specials. We're going to do shit to up sales. We're going to raise the price. We're going to lower the quality. You're going to pay more and get less. Across the board. This applies to everything. This is your medical care. This is your pet's medical care. This is your fucking chicken nuggets. When you go to the store, the fast food chain, and maybe you've been gone 10 years like me, and you're going, man, I'm going to go get that dollar menu. I would never do that, but I'm an evolving human. I eat food, not expensive food. Most of it's cheaper than anything out there, but it's going to be something that was either straight out of the dirt or home cooked. Lots of stuff doesn't really need to be home cooked. If I've got the time, I'm going to do that. If not, I'm just going to put some raw stuff inside of me that came out of the fucking earth. But you're busy, you've been gone a long time, you go out, I'm going to go to the dollar menu. You go get 2 or 3 of those dollar menu things and get filled up. You go to the goddamn fast food joint, and all of a sudden them chicken nuggets are $20 fucking. We haven't increased the quality. We haven't increased the quality of the staff. We haven't increased the quality of the ingredients to make those nugs. Famously, we have found the cheapest way to get these made and the cheapest products, ingredients to make those things. So we've decreased the quality over here. We've increased the price from $1 to $20. That gap in the middle is where the shareholders are taking your fucking chicken nugget money. They need $1 trillion this year. If they get $1 trillion, the shareholders get $1 trillion from those that chicken nugget chain, then the CEO gets $1 billion, and that's your chicken nugget money. That's the gap right now. It's being very publicized that hedge funds are going and buying all of the veterinarian clinics. When you take your dog to get a surgery, it's $200, $300, $400. A lot of money. I had a dog with breast cancer. She's only 6 or 7 years old. Meant a lot to us. And very young. And so the doctors are saying, hey dude, it's a surgery, it's about $100. Should be good to go. She's 6 or 7 years old. There's no other reason she'd be having more problems. We did this 3 or 4 times, and it came back immediately. Immediately, it turns out that silver blue Weimaraners are they're pretty inbred because it's hard to make a blue dog. You can't really breed them with anything else. If you only got one set of blue dogs on the planet, and you want another blue dog, you pretty much got to have it mate with something pretty close to it. And so the cancer was probably caused by the inbreeding and nothing else. The dog was gonna shit too. Love her to death, but not super bright. Super obedient, super chill, but God, we'd be running together and she'd just forget that we were running in this direction. And so she'd run in the opposite direction, and I'm just taking my jog with the 30-foot retractable thing. And all of a sudden your arm just goes out of the socket, the dog's butt goes flying up into the air. The poor dog has gotten shit whipped, as well as my shoulder that was wrecked from that accident with a 3rd-degree AC separation. We should have had a hint. It was $300-400 for a surgery. Maybe one of them was $1,000 or something like that. I don't know. But these hedge funds are not just buying up the animal clinics, they're overpaying. The animal clinic that sells for $500,000, they're paying $1 million because they don't want one of them. They need everybody to sell, so you don't have any option except to go to one of their clinics. You can't go to the cheap one. They bought them all. And now, when you go to get stuff for your pet, you could be looking at $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, guys. We have not increased the quality. We've increased the gap between you and the quality. Once again, if somebody makes, if the shareholders make $1 trillion, some CEO makes $1 billion, and you pay for all of that with your pet's health care. That's how the stock market affects anything. And so going into this, when you're saying, oh man, here's some money, I'm going to put my 401k into this product, understand that you're kind of killing yourself. You're saying, oh man, healthcare's up. I'm going to bet on that shit. I'm going to put $100,000 in and get a free $100,000. Cha-ching! Then you go for healthcare and go, oh God, what's going on here? That was $2,500. Now it's $50,000? That's not 1% per year. That's nuts. We're doing it to ourselves, but we are, of course, consenting. The right hemisphere is saying, this is all working. This is all working. You don't notice until you need the services. Before that, you're going, look at this. I'm making money hand over fist on everything I'm investing in. And then when you go to get that automotive service and go, hey man, what the fuck? A car was $20,000. The last time I went to look at cars, it was $20,000. What, you want the nice car? That's going to be $28,000. What the heck? $28,000. That better be a nice car. That better be a nice fucking car. Now you go to look at a little pickup, and it's 100 G-Bos. They were talking about making some electric car that came with roll down windows for 10 grand. Then it turned into 20 grand, then it turned into 30 grand. A tiny ass electric pickup with no pickup, with no power whatsoever, no, gotta roll the windows up and down. $30,000 fucking dollars, dude. That's not a bargain anything. Quite frankly, the Chinese cars that are keeping from coming in cost less and have shit that'll blow your doors off, blow your mind. Cars that can jump up and down, park themselves, spin in a circle. It's nuts. $20,000 cars that blow Teslas away. And yet, we're closing that off because we want that Tesla price to go through the roof because everybody's invested in Tesla. Okay, we can't let $20,000 electric vehicles that are nicer than these $100,000 electric vehicles. That Tesla truck was supposed to be a fucking $50,000 truck. People are paying $160,000 for that truck, and it turns out to be a piece of shit. $160,000 for a vehicle, but you're getting the $20,000 vehicle. The difference between you and your value is that trillion and that billion. That's where the fuck your money is going. If you're invested in Tesla, you're going, yeah, I'm fucking killing it right now. But that's where your money went. You go to buy a Tesla and you're like, God damn. I like making money, but 160 is a bit steep for a lemon over here. What happens, guys, is it's frogs in the boiling water, right? The water temperature went up so slowly that you really didn't notice. When we try this American lifestyle, and I hate to call it an American lifestyle, when we try the churches, the Catholic churches, the Christian churches, the Bible's interpretation of what the human lifestyle is, this lifestyle of being disconnected from nature, this third-person relationship to nature. We started a cult. This cult told us, hey man, don't watch what happens when you grow shit at your house. Because all of these things, your problems and your solutions are coming from the sky. And so, when you do things at your house, when you make physical changes to the plants and animals at your house, don't pay attention to, oh shit, I started growing human energies at my house, and my daughter's eyes, whose eyes were too close together, are now evenly spaced. They are symmetrical. The fuck? I'm going to go tell the neighbors about this. This is fascinating. What the heck? You're no longer connecting these things. Hey, my wife had love handles and a saggy ass. I didn't want anything to do with it. I'm turning out the lights. Now, we started growing animals where we live, and all of a sudden the love handle was sucked in, and a fat ass just popped out of my wife. What the fuck is going on? We're looking in other directions. They taught us 4,000 years ago to look in other directions when these things are happening. I had a young lady who I was just talking to this morning, amazing lady, that she came to me as a very young lady, a virgin, and I didn't know about that when she hired on, but she came to work at the office, and after a couple of weeks expressed an interest in dating. There's nobody my age. These kids are just smoking weed and cheating on each other. I've been abstaining. I have no interest in young people. They're just not about anything. Somebody that works with their hands and can fix their own car and pay their own fucking bills and seems uninterested in dating is extremely interesting. However, She had the typical new American body style. When I was a young man, girls had that onion. They had that ass, a little tiny skinny thing, and then that fat ass that came all the way around the sides. But not just the sides, there was ass as well. Now we see a bunch of girls that have hips, and then they turn around, and there's still nothing whatsoever back there. This is genetic expression. We have to change our perspective back to what it was for millions of years. They've got us looking up in the sky. They've got us looking in the pharmaceuticals. We're so used to purchasing things that when we do see miracles, we're looking in the sky, we're looking at pharmaceuticals, we're looking at products instead of looking at this relationship to nature. That's all we had. This young lady came to me, and I'm not paying attention to her body, but after she expressed interest in dating, I kind of took a look and was like, geez Louise, we can go get a coffee or something like that. But I don't have time for dating. I really don't have time for dating is the nicest way you can let somebody down and not actually say, hey, your body's a pile of shit. Nobody's gonna have sex with that. Nobody's gonna do that. You're gonna have to find another zombie that's really attracted to a dude that's looking for a chick that's got a dude body because they're too ashamed to say, hey man, I'm looking for somebody that looks like a dude because I'm too embarrassed to actually take that full step or whatever. Zombies are into some weird body types, some nasty body types, some unattractive body types. You can find that, but y'all are just going to make deformed kids. However, she spent a little time with me. Not with me, I don't mean to. She spent a little time in our laboratory where we're growing copious amounts of human food animals and human food plants. And all of a sudden, the love handle sucked in, this fat ass just dropped out, and her tits tripled in size. She had little pink nipples, dead. Dude nipples. They didn't respond to anything. They were little tiny pink things, flat. Just absolutely no sexuality on this person from head to toe. And then all of a sudden, these pink nipples turned black. And without any God, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't speak English very often, people. Without any stimulus, these things were just hard as fucking rocks. To where all day long you're just going, what is going on right now? Why can't I take my eyes off of this girl's chest? What is going on? All of a sudden these tits are just pointing at the sky. These are just water tits. Just like somebody nailed a runny fried egg to a board, and now all of a sudden these things are just pointing at the sky with these rock hard nipples. 24 hours a day. This fat ass, the water ass, or when she walked, it's jiggling, but it's also slapping the back of her leg to where it was almost impossible to work, people. The miracle, the beautiful thing, that the powers that be, that the genome, that the right hemisphere chose to reveal itself is this young lady would get guilted into going and spending time with her family. At her family's house, we had zero. They're just eating processed food with antibiotics in it. The relationship is only to a water treatment plant. There's no animals. There's no plants. Their backyard is fucking dirt. Fucking dirt. It was supposed to be a grass backyard. They had too many dogs, too many kids. It was just dirt. There was a couple of fucking weeds hanging out there, and they were lucky to be alive for a short period of time. And so, this young lady's body would just go to shit. And she's telling me, hey, Stephen, I don't know what's going on. I've been over here for a week, but that ass went away. The love handles are coming back. The nipples are gone. The tits are sagging again. And then she would come back. And all of a sudden, bam, that body would just go crazy again. Guys, this is in direct response. We had this first-person relationship where you're going, hey, every time you spend time around these plants and animals that have human food in them, you got that ass, you got them titties, pointing at the goddamn sky, just crazy, fat ass lips, to where you're trying to have a conversation about business, but your mind just keeps staring at these lips moving, and you're going, babe, I don't even know what you said. I don't even know what you said. There's urgency. A lot of you guys have probably never experienced sexual attraction. Why would you? Everybody's living this lifestyle. Everybody's dead. All of the females are walking around with these disgusting shapes. I watch your news, and I'm just going, I'm not even seeing the news. I'm just seeing these deformed people, pointing at shit. You're going, why are you not the story? Why aren't we focusing on what's happening with you? Why are you pointing at something right now? Why are you on a television? Why are you pointing at something else? Why isn't what's going on with you the news, the emergency? Why aren't we addressing this? If you're in that fishbowl, though, and everybody kind of looks the same frumpy, disgusting, asexual thing, everybody is just dating like crazy. Hey, there's nothing going on here. There's nothing going on here. There's not. Let's just try again. Who else has a pair of specs and a push-up bra to try to pretend like you're a sexual female? Let's just keep banging our head against this fucking wall, guys. It's all right here. However, there is a will to live in here as well. Your body is counting the number of species energies versus the species and making evolutionary decisions, changing your body type in order to attract or to shun mating opportunity. The body is either genetically expressing physical attraction for the opposite sex, regardless of working out, regardless of diet, regardless of jamming protein versus eating fruits and vegetables that are high in carbohydrate. You're eating preserved foods, you're gonna die. Your body's gonna choose death. However, you would think somebody that's doing a bunch of dips would have a big old fat ass, but that's not what's going to happen. That's our current understanding. Man, if a girl's walking around with a big old fat onion, she must have gone to the gym and done a bunch of dips, maybe with a bar or something like that, with those dumbbells. But of course, if your body is attempting to express masculinity, we see girls all the time that go and try to build a butt, and instead they build huge masculine legs. And you're like, that's impressive if you're a dude or if you're wanting to express masculinity. But, if you were going for ass, you'd probably want to be expressing estrogen before we went to the old gym, right? You can't fight your body's genetic expression. And so if your body is already expressing femininity and you go to the gym, that shit's going to explode. Bang! But if your body is trying to express shunning mating opportunity and you go to the gym, You're just going to accentuate those masculine parts that your body is trying to express. This is a language. Genetics is a language. And we're supposed to be looking at what's going on in the habitation, what genetic stimulus we have, and what we see in the mirror, and relating those two things. That's all we had to go on for millions of years. If somebody had a kid with a somewhat close relative, and this kid's eyes were too close together where mom and dad's weren't, we would say, oh shit, that's concerning. Nobody's looking to mate with somebody who's going to have a kid that looks like a cyclops. This isn't random. This is genetic expression. We're going to need to make sure our mating habits are a little bit farther apart genetically. We didn't have gene mapping. We didn't have a way to look at this and go, hey, this is these chromosomes and these chromosomes. And yet, we had all of this information just from this observation. Hey, you guys are first cousins, and you made this thing. You made the flipper baby. Apparently, that's the thing not to do. Everything was this exact same observation. You're making a bunch of kids. You're having a bunch of illness in the house. However, you're busier making kids than you are tending to your plants and animals outside. You found an easy way to feed everybody without growing these species energies. But you have no health in these children. You've got the genetic anomalies. You've got a kid with half an arm. You've got a kid with the eyes too close, a kid with the eyes too far apart, a kid where the hairline is coming down. We've got the hair lip. We've got the little curlicue hairline. We've got the eyebrows that are getting a little bit too crazy. We have genetic anomaly. We have allergies. We have people that are not able to see. We have people that don't have enough space in the jaw for the number of teeth that are present, which would be a death sentence for millions and millions of years. And then we would relate that. Without me having to tell you, we would relate that. We would be looking at the neighbors who aren't wealthy. Everybody has the same amount of stuff and money. But they're paying more attention to the plants and animals that they're growing. And they have this genetic health, and you would go, huh, 1 + 1 = 2. Those guys have genetic health, and they're growing a bunch of plants and animals with human food inside of it. It was that fucking simple, guys, until the church came along and snowed us and told us, hey, your answers are in the sky, and now people are clasping their hands together, staring up in the sky, or they're looking at these products saying, man, I'm going to save up and get me some Ozempic. So that I can get my sexy back. Let's see how we're doing on time. Man, we killed it, guys. I think that's it right there. We're all just trying to survive this administration's fucking cash grab. Just crazy on every level. I do all sorts of business in America, and everything is just stopped for these people just grabbing as many billions or trillions of dollars as they can before they get the fuck out of there and get somebody in. I don't even have party affiliates or anything like that, but we just got to get these motherfuckers. God damn. Just survive it. Everybody. That's it. That's how the stock market is killing you guys, and that's why you're consenting to it. Your right hemisphere is saying, Probably all right. This is probably all right. The second we have this balance again, this flips. You're not watching the end of times. This is just a bad human recipe. You cannot have a relationship with a water treatment plant instead of a circular pathway for microorganisms to leave you and return to you. You guys are super important. Do this again real soon.